It's loading now. Just one moment.
No problem.
Okay, all set. You're live now. Just one moment.
Okay. Welcome to the July meeting of the Governance Committee of the Buffalo Fiscal Stability Authority. Our objective today is to review the various policies which govern the BFSA and to consider recommending approval of such policies by the full board. We will also review the annual procurement report and the prompt payment report, and will consider a recommendation that these two items also be approved by the full board. Our final item is to review the format of the annual board self-evaluation and approval of the submission of these items to each director to complete. First, I'll take a roll call. Chair Olson is excused. Interim Vice Chair Jurcek.
Present.
Okay. Director Sanfilippo.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. The first item of business is to approve the minutes of the committee meeting held on December 6, 2022. The draft minutes are located under tab 1 in your board book. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
So moved.
And second, Andy, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Objections? The minutes are approved. We'll now advance the agenda to review the BFSA's various policies, procedures, and reports, and will consider recommending approval of these items to the full board. The relevant documents are located under tab 1 in your board book. Jeanette, will you review these items with us, please?
Yes, thank you very much. So we spent a substantial amount of time over the last number of years just reviewing the policies and the procedures, making sure they're consistent with state law. And probably 3-4 years ago, we had changes that were recurring that you would see and that you would approve. There haven't been a lot of changes to the state laws that we take our policies and procedures from. So we did go through those this year and see if there was anything that needed updating. There were a few items for me to bring to your attention. The first is in the Code of Ethics. It was updated for the annual compensation level that would trigger an employee to be required to file a financial disclosure form. There were a couple other minor changes in that, but that was the most substantive change. Let's see, the use of discretionary funds policy, that was updated for the IRS guidelines for meal reimbursement for out-of-town travel. It's now $59 a day. The procurement guidelines, those were updated for a reference for the SDVOB program, which is the Service Disabled Veteran Owned Minority Business, Service Disabled Veteran Owned Business Enterprise Program, SDVOB. And that is now pursuant to the Veterans State Law. Previously, it was executive law. That's now been codified into New York State law. So that reference has been updated. Those are the changes on the policies and the guidelines. Included in your packet as well is a procurement report, which includes any contract that was effective for the BFSA in excess of $5,000 during the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2023. There's also a prompt payment report, which reports on any new contracts entered into in excess of $5,000 and whether or not the BFSA was compliant with the prompt payment policy, which is pursuant to state law. And there were no deficiencies from that policy that were noted in our report. I'll take any questions on any of the policies and guidelines.
And nothing's happened to the conflict of interest policy, right?
Nothing has happened with that. No update, correct?
Are there any questions or comments for Jeanette? Seeing none, I'll
just a quick-
accept. Okay, go ahead, Andy.
Just a quick question. What is our, Jeanette, what is the maximum daily allowance for lodging and food and meals if you go away to a conference?
The maximum for meals is compliant with the IRS requirements. That's $59 a day.
Okay.
And there's no maximum per se for like hotel costs and things like that. We would just do a cost comparison and be cost effective individually.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if we were required to comply with the same guidelines that have been adopted by the city of Buffalo.
We are not, no.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy. Any other questions? Jeanette?
None.
Okay, seeing none, I'll accept a motion to recommend to the full board these policies.
So moved.
Okay, a second?
Seconded.
Thank you,
Second.
Andy. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion passes. Our next item of business is to review the annual board self-evaluation and recommend its submission to each director for completion. A copy of the policy guidance from the Authority Budget Office has been included under tab 1. The format is consistent with what has been used by BFSA over the last several years. May I have a motion to approve the distribution of the annual budget board of directors evaluation to each director for completion?
As moved.
Okay, is there a second? Andy?
Second.
Okay, are there any questions or comments on the evaluation? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the motion passes. There is no old business. Is there any other new business that needs to be addressed? Seeing none, are there any comments from the community? I don't think any are on this call at this time. Therefore, this concludes this meeting of the Governance Committee of the Buffalo Fiscal Stability Authority. Is there a motion to adjourn?
As moved.
So moved.
Okay, thank you. We are